I step, something in my jeans. And FOI, NOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. The first question I would like to ask him is, what's his background? You know, who were you before you registered into the Nation of Islam? How was your life growing up?
Okay, yes, sir. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the person as Master Father Muhammad, whom all holy praise is due forever. I further bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is the chosen, risen, and exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the two of them raised up the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was our reminder, guide, and example, the Messiah and I today. And in their holy names, I grant you all in the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
So you said who I was before I came into the nation, before I became Anaz X. I was known as Anaz, slave named Hatton. Basically before I came into the nation, I was really lost. I was acting and being other than myself. You can kind of say I was living a savage life. So prior to joining the nation, I was battling a lot of difficulties with depression, other mental health issues, especially and another one, suicide. I was just lost, like I said, I was acting other than myself, I used to, be so eager to learn. I used to not care what anybody say about who I am, Then I kind of deviated away from that once I got to high school. And, I was getting a lot of attention with women. I was excellent in track. So and then I got exposed to other things that I shouldn't have been, like smoking, drinking, and hanging around the wrong crowd. They will bring you to that. They will bring you to yourself where you would kind of deviate from being who you truly are, and you become somebody else, and that's what kind of happened. I was hanging around the wrong crowd. I was trying to change who I am just to fit in with other people. And, that took a big toll on me. So right after high school, my senior year of high school, I went into the big state of depression, I lost a lot of friends because, I was realizing that I was acting other than myself to be somebody who I wasn't. And, with that, I was going through a lot. So I dropped out of high school. I'm smoking weed every day. I didn't want to work. I was not keeping up with myself. I was going with it. I was going through it with my mother and all because I didn't feel that she understood what I was going through. So, I was kind of pushing a lot of my family members away. And you can say I was being a a-hole. So, within that same year, I had moved down to Durham, North Carolina, to go stay with my aunt and uncle. And, I felt that, going down there where, I could probably find who I am, who I truly am, and, go back to, trying to find my true self, I was calling my spiritual journey. So as I go down there, it's a lot of things that's happening, a lot different. The setting was a lot different from living in the city. I'm from Philadelphia. So living in Durham, everything was a lot slower. And, during the pandemic, couldn't really go out or anything. So I was basically cooped up in the house all the time. And also I lived in the suburb parts of Durham. So and I didn't have a car. So I was only dependent on other people to get me to and from work, and but it was a lot of stuff going on down there as well. I was kind of stuck down there because I had moved down there. I wanted to go visit first, but then I was like, I enjoyed the summertime when I visited. Everything was fine. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move down there, and everything was different because of COVID. But I was going through it down there too. It was times like I didn't want to be down there no more because I was cooped up in the house and there was like a lot of stuff going on. We're not gonna get into that, but there was a lot of stuff going on, and I felt the only solution was, running away or ending my life. So I was in a very big state of depression when I was down there. I was overworking myself. I was trying to go back to school. Well, I wasn't trying to go back to school. I went back to school, to get my high school diploma. And, I would just focus on those three things. I was working 2 jobs. Right after my one job early in the morning, I had to go to another job. And right after that job that I got off real late, I had to do schoolwork. So I was just drained. And, the only thing that really helped me for the most part was my iPad. I had purchased an iPad to start drawing and stuff to keep me focused and to get back in the habit of art, because that was all I had. When I used to get in trouble, mom, you probably bear witness this, when you get in punishment, your mom would take all your things, your phone, TV, game.
Yeah.
So all I was left with was, drawing my gifts. So I would just sit in the room and, I would just draw, doodle away. So, once I purchased that iPad, I had a little sense of motivation to do for self. And this is before I came into the teaching, because I always had my clothing line. It was established in 2020. I wasn't really serious with it because, I was battling with a lot of things, and I didn't really understood the concept of establishing a business or keeping up with it. So once I moved down to North Carolina, I started getting a little serious with it. Then there was a point again, I'm still going through a lot of stuff. And, back in 2020 during the pandemic, me and a couple other brothers, we used to sit in the room and watch the minister. We used to watch the minister. And I think the first interview I watched was the Donahue show. And, we sitting there getting high, listening to the minister, and we just looking like, yo, he's going in on this white man. Like, look at him. Look how these white people are.
Yeah.
Look how they act, and look how they trying to bring our brother down. And just watching it, I was just like,
I would just like to say that I am terrified that even you, someone who's obviously educated, has given up hope completely. Like when you call upon us, you say white folk, you say black people, Jewish people. Why can't we come together? We obviously can come together. We just have to. We just have to find a way to do it.
The desire is good, but the reality is the total opposite of your desire. And unfortunately, as a young lady, you are not in the position of power to make the decisions to make America work. May I, as an audience of intelligent people, I would like to just take a moment to say to you that I really don't think you fully understand what has happened to these people that you look at as second class or inferior citizens in this nation. Black people who were brought to this country were stripped of their names, language, culture, religion, God, and taken totally away from the history of themselves. Here are 30 million people who don't wear their own names, they wear your names, who don't speak their own language, they speak English, which is not their language. They never, never were allowed their own cultural expression of Africa. Don't you realize that when you turn a people upside down and inside out, then sell them not for a day, not for a year, but for 300 years, and deny us the human right to know, to read a book, to learn, to understand, and then after 300 years of that, you allow us into the church, but by that time, you've painted Jesus white, God white, the angels white, and then all these black people have been subjected to a form of white supremacy, which produces in the reverse a black inferiority. And this is fulfilling what Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. And as long as our people think the way they think, we will never be able to do what we as a people should do to correct our condition.
Over here, please.
I just really like gravitated toward that. I really love to see that, because there was a lot of stuff happening in 2020. I believe that's when George Floyd died.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff happening during that time, you know. And you know, when I seen those deaths on TV or heard about it in the streets or on social media, you know, it would bring me to tears. Like, I remember it was a time where I would wake up every morning just to see another one of our brothers die. Another one of our brothers got shot by the police, and we're not doing nothing, you know. And over there in North Carolina, it showed me how that brought me to tears and stuff, and how I wanted to do something more than just repost something and spread awareness. Like, I wanted to do more, and it used to be the burden on me. Like, dang, like, what more can I do? I know it's something I can do, and, you know. Also, I was going to this little spirituality phase, you know. That also had me acting other than myself as well. You know, it wasn't really doing nothing for me, but, you know, draining me and bringing me to my lower self. So when I was down there in North Carolina, I met a couple brothers. You know, they were Muslims, and, you know, and I gravitated towards them more because one brother, I forgot what Muslim he was, but I just know he was Muslim, and he told me about my name. When he asked me my name, he was like, "Yo, your name is in the Holy Quran. It means it's the last surah, Anaz." And I was like, "Huh?" And when I looked at the last chapter, I'm like, "Oh wow, wait, this really is my name." It's spelled differently, but the sounding is alike. So and I was telling him, like, I'm going through a lot, you know. I vented to him, I'm going through a lot. And he was like, "Hey man, you know," he was saying that my name was a form of meditation, you know. So he was like, say that scripture over and over, and, you know, see what happens. You know, I tried it out. It didn't really do anything, you know. And, you know, with all the stuff was happening, you know, mind you, prior before I was going through my spirituality phase, I was a Christian. And, you know, when I seen that it wasn't doing nothing for me, but just people just judging me for and stuff, like, I deviated from being at church.